This is Mac OS Ken.
iPhone 16 sales seem to be on track. Mac sales may see a boost from AI. And a hardware vet is leaving Apple this week. It is a hardware-heavy Thursday, the 10th of October, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. How are iPhone 16 shipments going? About as Apple expected is the word from TF International analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. Young MC took to Twitter on Wednesday to share some updates. According to those, not only have assembly orders not been reduced, it's been requested that suppliers keep cranking out iPhone Pro models over China's National Day holiday, indicating that demand for the Pro models has generally met expectations so far. While orders for some components for mid-November onwards have been dropped a bit, mainly for the consumer end of the line, the reduction was small enough to be essentially negligible, according to the analyst. Demand for the 16 base model and 16 Plus remains lackluster compared to last year, according to the update. Paradoxically, the analyst says shipments for iPhone 16 Pro are similar to shipments last year for iPhone 15 Pro, though he also says it's worth noting that the current shipping times for the iPhone 16 Pro are shorter than those for the 15 Pro, which sounds paradoxical. He's still modeling production for the iPhone 16 line of 88 to 89 million units for the current quarter, slightly lower than last year's 90 to 91 million units for the 15 line. The next focal point will be the arrival of Apple Intelligence later this month and what it does for iPhone demand in the States. Kids today still overwhelmingly expect their next phone to be an iPhone, something that seems to have nothing to do with Apple Intelligence. Apple 3.0 ran stats from Piper Sandler's Taking Stock with Teens Fall 2024 survey, talking with well over 13,000 youngins in the U.S. The firm says 87% of respondents own an iPhone, while 88% expect their next phone to be an iPhone. Only 22% expect to upgrade to iPhone 16 this fall or winter, very slightly lower than the roughly 23% expecting to upgrade to iPhone 15 this time last year. In addition, notes the firm, only about 30% of teens are upgrading any of their Apple hardware in the next 6 months due to Apple Intelligence, which is kind of a weird thing to point out. Makes it sound like 30% are doing it for the AI thing, while the other 70% are doing it just, because. Roughly 1 in 16 surveyed didn't even know about Apple Intelligence, according to the survey. 30% of teens surveyed own an Apple Watch, 30% own an iPad, and over 70% own AirPods, with 25% expecting to buy a pair in the next 6 months. Piper Sandler has a neutral rating on Apple shares. The firm's price target on the shares is $225. Global PC shipments were up a little bit last quarter. That is the word from market tracker Canalys, but IDC would disagree. According to that firm, global PC shipments dipped a bit. That said, they're each playing in the same ballpark. IDC had PC makers shipping 68.8 million units last quarter, a decline of 2.4% year-on-year. The firm had Apple shipping 5.3 million Macs last quarter, a decline of 24.2%. Let the congregation say yikes. Canalys, meanwhile, saw PC makers shipping roughly 66.4 million units, an increase of 1.3% year-on-year. The firm had Apple shipping 5.1 million Macs, a decline of 17.5% versus the same quarter a year earlier. Let the congregation say yikes again, but maybe this time a little more quietly. Looking at Apple specifically, the Mac may have been a victim of timing. Apple offered significant updates to the Mac line in June of 2023, which would have fed nicely into third quarter sales last year. The most recent updates this year came in March, meaning most update-inspired sales would have happened in the second quarter. Price may have also cost Apple's customers. IDC's Jitesh Abrani, research manager with the firm's worldwide mobile device trackers, says much of last quarter's demand was still concentrated at the entry level thanks to a recovering economy and the back-to-school season in North America. Both firms see PC growth strengthening through the rest of the year thanks to, want to guess, you never will, okay, I'll tell you, machines that can handle AI. The IDC release had Abrani saying newer AI PCs, such as Copilot Plus PCs from Qualcomm, along with Intel and AMD's equivalent chips, as well as Apple's expected M4-based Macs, are expected to drive the premium segment in coming months. For its part, Canalys says the arrival of such machines is strengthening the value proposition of upgrading an old PC. They expect promotional activity around the holidays to support modest growth in PCs toward the end of this year. Likely down with all of that is JP Morgan. Apple Insider wrote up a note from the firm, probably written by Samik Chatterjee, though the piece doesn't call him out by name. What it does do is call out anticipated AI PCs from the Cupertino company. Based on proprietary data from the firm, the piece says demand is reportedly concentrated on low-end models during the return-to-school season and weakened economy, but the forward outlook is positive due to expected demand for computers with artificial intelligence features. Which sounds familiar. The report goes on to say rumors suggest Apple will reveal the M4 Mac lineup in late October, with initial shipments in early November. New Macs before the holiday season could help drive demand and increase Apple's market share into 2025. The piece has JP Morgan indicating that AI PC adoption could drive demand into 2026. The firm has an overweight rating on Apple shares. Its price target on them is $265. Another notable retirement from Apple, and coming up real quick. Bloomberg says Dan Riccio, former hardware engineering chief and current head of Apple's Vision Products Group, is leaving the company this Friday. He actually made that announcement during a speech yesterday at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. After 26 years with the Cupertino company, sounds like he just wants to do something different. According to Bloomberg, he told the students at MIT that he'd actually been eyeing retirement for about 5 years, and that he wants to get more involved at the engineering program named for him at the university, including by potentially teaching or developing curriculum material. He also spoke about the birth of the original iMac and said the iPhone X was the product he was most proud to create. So that's what he's going to do. What about the 2,000 or so employees in the Vision Products Group? According to Bloomberg, they'll become the responsibility of Apple's current hardware chief, John Turnus, though day-to-day operations for the group will pass to current Riccio second, Mike Rockwell. Apple TV Plus, now on Amazon Prime Video. So says a piece from 9to5Mac. Starting later this month, says the report, Prime Video subscribers will be able to subscribe to Apple TV Plus through Amazon. Confusing as it sounds, it's possible Apple's joining Amazon's ranks to lessen confusion. 9to5Mac says it's a common misconception that to get Apple TV Plus, you have to have an Apple TV. Kind of strange, though, since Apple TV Plus is available through the Apple TV app on virtually all smart TVs, set-top boxes, streaming sticks, gaming consoles, and the web. In Amazon's press release on the deal, Apple services dude Eddie Q is quoted as saying, "We want to make Apple TV Plus and its award-winning library of series and films from the world's greatest storytellers available to as many viewers as possible. We're thrilled that Prime Video will now offer Apple TV Plus, giving viewers an incredible breadth of viewing options. No markup for Amazon Prime Video subscribers. 9to5Mac says paying for Apple TV Plus through Prime Video will cost the same $9.99 a month as Apple TV Plus directly from Apple. Of course, that's on top of the current Amazon Prime Video subscription. And finally today, if you're an Apple Watch Activity Challenge completionist, don't forget to set aside 10 mindful minutes today. As Mac Rumors told us a few days ago, Apple is celebrating Mindful Month through its wearable. The reminder popped on my watch yesterday, with the company encouraging participants to bring awareness to all the ways we can take care of our mental health by recording 10 mindful minutes with any app that adds to health. That'll yield animated stickers for messages, a virtual medallion, and who knows, maybe inner peace. Well, you'll get the stickers and the thing anyway. macOS Ken, brought to you by me, and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macosken. Advertising handle by Backbeat Media. Online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.